Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today we're going to show you a handful of what we think are probably our most valuable snakes. Size not being considered. So we're going to throw size out the window because obviously adult females are worth more, but we're going to get rid of that aspect of it just on the sheer genetics involved. What we think are probably some of the most valuable animals in our collection. We'll kind of give you a rough estimate of maybe what they would be worth, but honest to God, some of them I have no idea. But we think these are far and away above some of the other ones. So you're going to see some of our cool stuff today. Make sure to hit like and subscribe while you're at it. We'd really appreciate that. And go take a chance and check out Patreon. It's worth it for the Discord sales list. You can sell stuff on there yourself, which is kind of cool. It's a great community. So that's enough plug of that. And then when we're done, we are going to go to Patreon and do a video on Patreon where Kurt and I are going to share with you one of our favorite snakes each. Me one, Kurt one, with the idea of monetary value excluded. So if every snake was worth the same amount of money, what would be our favorites and why? Because again, we're not a business that's just only about profit. We're doing this because we love to do it. We're also doing it for profit. So some of it has to be the aspect of, this is an animal I love and here is why. And then we'll show you the ones from the business standpoint that are just far and away above. So you ready to get rolling? I think we are. Let's do it. I'm going to start with this one right here. Let me tell you, man, this snake, if you ask me how much it's worth, I have no idea. Here's the reason I have no idea. I'm pretty sure this is the only one in existence. If I'm wrong, somebody please link me to another. What are we looking at here, ladies and gentlemen? That's probably where we should start. This is a female banana, which, you know, used to be by itself. Back in the day, if I had just a female banana, it would have been the most valuable snake in my collection. Obviously, there's a lot more going on here. We're not back in the day when this would have been a $15,000 animal just for banana. So this is a female banana, Blitz, Calico, Black Pastel, I think is what's going on in there. I think that combination's really cool looking. I really like the tail on her. So we only have ever made one. We kept her, obviously. Look at that. That thing is just so cool. If I was going to sell her, I don't know what I would ask. Again, this isn't a snake you can go just look up on Morph Market because it's not there. You know, it only exists. Here's the other thing I love about the snake. If you look, right now is a great example of it. The front portion is darker in the purple than the back portion. See how much darker that is? Vastly, vastly darker. Look at the neck there. You can really kind of see. It's crazy how much difference it just kind of fades from a dark purple to a lighter lavender as it goes down. There you can really see it. Thank you. You're like posing so well today, snake. Which is really unique, really, really awesome animal on that front. As you can see now, they're getting closer as it's crawling through, and it'll eventually match up 100%. So I think that's really cool. If I had to sell her, I don't know, I'd probably ask an outlandish amount just because, but she's definitely in the 4-digit range, and that number doesn't start with a 1, 2, or 3 in my book. Not to mention she's got some size on her, but again, we're not worried about that. Just as a baby, I probably would have, at the time she was hatched, I think I was thinking around 55, but I never posted her up for sale. I just wanted to keep her. And again, that's a number completely pulled right out of my rectum because when it's the only one, that's kind of how it works. So I do hope to make more of these, and when we do, we'll sell them. Now, this is an animal, though, when you start talking about business, because it's a combo that, as this Blitz and these things get more common in combos, it's probably not going to hold its value that well. It is going to come down some. So it's one of our most expensive today when it was born, but it probably won't always stay that way. But damn, she's cool. She'll also throw a 50-50 ratio, and her offspring will be her offspring that are males will be female makers, if I understand how things work correctly, which is pretty badass. Just love her pattern in the sides. Really cool snake. All right, girl, back you go. So that's one of them I wanted to share. I believe most of the rest are over here, although we have one that we'll get from over there for you. This is a little snake we hatched in 2020. It took a little while to get some size on. They were first-year mom and or second-year mom, maybe, I don't remember now. And a first-year breeder dad, but she eats good. She's putting on size good now. And what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at a Pastel Lesser, right? That is also a Krypton. It's also 100% het for Desert Ghost. So Desert Ghost being really hot right now makes this a very expensive animal. You're guaranteed to be het for 3 recessives. That would be Clown, Cryptic, and Desert Ghost. With the Clown and Cryptic, you're going to pass one of those on every time. It's going to act like it's an actual recessive. So you're going to always get Clown, het Clowns, or het Cryptics. You'll never make a normal. And the Pastel and Lesser just make this thing look absolutely insane. So this is a really, really neat looking snake. I know when I first hatched it, although I think the market on Cryptic has come down a little bit, but the market on Desert Ghost is still going crazy. We were probably thinking if we decided to part with it, we were going to ask around 5. We decided not to part with it, stuck it in my back pocket for obvious reasons. But again, think about what this can do when you go to start breeding it. You can get Desert Ghost all day long. You're going to get Cryptic stuff all day long. If you want to make Cryptic, or like, you can't make a Cryptic Clown, that's a Krypton. If you want to get some Desert Ghost Kryptons, this is a way to do it. Desert Ghost Clowns, this is a way to do it. Desert Ghost Pastel Clowns, here you go, right? This is how you do it. Like this snake, she is a bad ass, man. She's a badass. So we're really hoping she continues to thrive and continues to do well. You know, she has had a little bit of an issue when she was brand new, getting a bowel movement out because she tends to store her poop, but she's doing that pretty good on her own now without a little bit of, we have to do it before, a little bit of massaging and things to kind of help her out. But she's never prolapsed or anything, so really good sign she'll be fine. And last time she passed a honking turd for her size, so I think she's going to be just a-okay. I was probably just a little bit of a too worried dad, and you know, we started working on her a little bit too soon, a little bit of massaging. That was about the most we've ever had to do with her. Beautiful little girl. Again, this is a Pastel Lesser Het Desert Ghost Krypton. Damn. That's all you can really say. So let me get out the next one. And this is a snake that, I'll be honest, we bought and brought into the collection. Not this one, I made this one, right? But the next one is one that I purchased and brought into the collection. And I purchased it for a really good deal. You know, like, they gave me a hell of a deal on it. He stays a little on the skinny side. We can't breed him too hard, which is kind of a shame because he does stay skinny. And, you know, so we give him kind of every other week. We make sure he's getting some good food in him and whatnot. But this is him here. So what is he? Well, he is a Pastel Lesser Desert Ghost is what we purchased him at. We purchased him before Desert Ghost went bonkers. So we got into it very, very right. And he also ended up being 100% het Cryptic. That wasn't known when we bought him. They found out later Cryptic was running their collection. It came from Fireball Reptiles, very reputable. And when we contacted them after we made some babies, said, whoa, this looks really weird. This is what we think it is from other people. And talking to people, he was like, yep, Cryptic is running around in my collection, and started to pop up and popped up linked to where he came from. So that's definitely what is going on. So again, Visual Desert Ghost. That's how that one girl's 100% het, right? Oh, I forgot to mention, she's possible het caramel as well. So I didn't even mention that gene. Holy crap, right? But I don't really like the caramel, so it's just more of an annoyance. But he is a Pastel Lesser Visual Desert Ghost, 100% het Cryptic. So with all of that going on, he is a male that we definitely underpaid for because the het Cryptic wasn't known and the Desert Ghost hadn't gone as nuts as it has now. But really, really cool animal. If you want something like this, though, I can tell you, whoa, buddy, Fireball is still making them, and he would love to sell you one. You're not going to get into it as good as I got into this one because that ship has sailed, but he'll treat you really good if you contact him about these guys. So take a look over there, see what he's got available and what he has right now. But just beautiful, beautiful snake. Value on it currently, man, I don't even really know. But it would probably be, I don't think it'd be as much as a female, because this one is male, but I think you are looking into the, if I was going to part with him, we would definitely want several $1,000s to do so. That may be overpriced, it may be underpriced. I really didn't do a lot of research. This is mostly based on just what I know in here is going to be some of our more expensive ones when they were babies. Now I got one more I want to show you. This one is a baby. So, and this one, well, this is kind of, doesn't really fit the title, and I'll explain in a second here. Let's go with, which one do I want to show? You'll be a good one. Come on, buddy. Oh, I know. I'm going to set this out here because this is a project we're working on. I'm just going to put that snake right there. If you want to take a second, while Kurt's watching that, you can go down in the comments and make some guesses on what it is. I'm going to go pull out something else. So I think it's important to do so when I show this off. That's this one here. So what are we looking at? Well, if you haven't made your guesses yet, then you should have. Hit pause, go do it. I'm going to put out one for comparison. So this is, of course, what we're talking about today. This is a comparable snake. What this is on my right, so this snake here, it's a known commodity. It's a Pastel Blitz, 100% het xanthic. You can really see the blitz. It's not hard to tell it's in there. You can just, it's pretty obvious, right? So this snake came from an animal that we called pastel-like. The story is we hatched these two very similar to pastel, but kind of wonky animals from a clutch that didn't have any chance of pastel in it whatsoever, which has happened to other people too. I mean, it's uncommon, but it's not unheard of. We kept both of them, thankfully, and we were able to breed one this last year. She hatched 9 eggs, or laid 9 eggs. They all hatched. We got a handful of snakes that look like this. So what are we looking at? And she was bred to a Blitz, I guess I should say that for the record, which was the father of these. So what we have here is definitely Blitz going on, and whatever is going on with the mother is in there. So if this is a Pastel Blitz, which it could be, you know, then okay, you know, it's going to be worth what a Pastel Blitz is. But if this is something new and not pastel, which will take us some time to figure out. So again, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it's needs a little work, right? And I'll show you why I think that here in just a minute. Then we'll have something that could be very valuable, and I don't want to try to price yet. So why do I think these might be different? Well, you can look, they're pretty similar in size at this point. This one being a little smaller still. They both shed several times, had meals. This is about the best blushing spot on this Pastel Blitz. If you look at this snake, it's just blushed all the way through. Every spot is blushed. The color, if I set this one on top of here, you'll really see it. Side for side is very different. I mean, you're a couple shades lighter here. Look how much busier this pattern is in this one. See that? In the same area, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the pattern is busier. You also have a lot more blown out circles than you do on this one. This one almost is just like there's more twisting and blown out than what you're seeing here. I mean, you're still seeing obvious blitz markers here. There's no problems with that. There was one spot on there I wanted to show because it's your guarantee. Where did it go? You kind of had some strong man arms on here wanting to kind of start, and you got the vagina marking, as I call it, or it looks like a uterus. That's pretty common too, you know. So this has definitely got what we know in it. There you can see a strong arm. It was a blitz totally. There, right there. There's your perfect blitz going on in like that area there. This thing here, the pattern is just totally eaten up. And then the flaming. Flame, 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 flame. All this flaming down through. There's your belly. There, you know, flaming on this side. You got them flaming here too, but it's not the same. So it almost looks to me like, if I had to say what it appears to be very similar, but just amplified. It's like if you took this animal and you turned it up from 6 to 11, you get this. The head's also different. I don't know if Kurt will be able to show this very well. The eye stripes on here do break, and there's some lighting issues, but that's pretty common with what we work with. You get that broken eye stripe. But look at the blushing here versus the blushing on the head of this one down here. It's just, they're both blushed, but just the level is pretty different night and day. So anyway, and that's actually the darker side on this one. The lighter side's over there. So anyway, that is kind of what we think could be our most expensive. This one we just don't know, right? There's more work to be done, but if it proves out to be a brand new gene, which would be really cool. And how can we do that? Well, a few of the things we're going to work on to do that, because we don't want to release it and say it's new unless it is. So we have to come at this to approach it to prove it to not be new. So I'm going to work to prove this to be not a new gene. That's my goal. My goal is to disprove it. How do I do that? Well, one, we're going to repeat the pairing that made the original mom, see what happens. We've actually never done that. Probably should have earlier. We're then going to make the same pairing that made this one to see if we can get some consistency in it and make sure it's not a one-time thing. We have another female we're going to pair to a super pastel. I want to see, can I pick these out from pastels, A. B, when I pair it to a pastel, does it, in fact, make a super? If it makes a super, then what we really have is just another line of pastel. That's it. If it doesn't make a super, then, you know, we have something definitely different going on. And we should be able to look and tell, does this look like a super pastel? And if it does, and if we're not able to tell the babies apart easily with good consistency, then it'll be easy to say, hey, that's a different thing. But when you add in the Blitz, it definitely, to my eye, looks vastly different. Kurt, anything you want to add about our most expensive babies?
No.
Do you agree with that list, or do you think I left out some or had some that I shouldn't have on there?
Yep, I agree.
You agree? He's probably full of shit. Kurt's like, we should have put an inchie on there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.